Hi, this is Steve Chapman of S2 App Development, and this video is intended for search and rescue managers who may receive a trip plan from the OVERDUE app. So what happens at the user end? Then 15 minutes before that person is about to become overdue, they will receive from our server 2 SMS messages and 2 phone calls to remind them to check in. At that point, the user will either check in because they've forgotten, or raise the alert immediately, or request more time if they're running late. At the point they become overdue, the server will send a message to that person's primary contact. That primary contact will reply for the affirmative if they're able to handle it, and then we will send the trip plan to that primary contact, and that will take the form of a link with a code and also an access code to unlock some of the more personal details of the person who is overdue. And when that person receives the trip plan, they may do some preliminary investigations to see if they are really overdue or just forgotten. And then if they're satisfied they are overdue, that person will contact emergency services and search and rescue, and then it's a simple matter of passing on that trip plan code and the access code to search and rescue. If for some reason that primary contact isn't able to respond, then the same process repeats with the secondary contacts, of which the user can have up to 6. Again, one of those persons would hopefully reply to the affirmative, and then when that happens, the remaining contacts will be given a stand down, so we only have one person handling the actual response, and then that one person is sent the trip plan. And as before, that trip plan would be sent to search and rescue via emergency services. When an emergency contact is contacted, they will receive an SMS and sometimes also an email. So this here is an example of the email. So you can see there's a link to the trip plan and also the unlock code for the more detailed version for SAR. I'm just going to quickly copy that and then click on the trip plan to open it up. So here we are. So you can see right at the top it's red, so that indicates that this particular trip plan is overdue. Just walking through it, we have the photograph that the subject would have taken hopefully on the day they went out, otherwise it's the profile picture. A picture they hopefully would have taken at the trailhead. Both of these are dated for reference. And under the details here we have a whole bunch of information, so the planned routes, contingency plans, additional details, who else is in that group, the actual activity they're participating in, and then there's an equipment list which lists everything they would have checked off in the tool within the app. And down here we have the scheduled start, when they would have been overdue at, which is flashing now, the start point and the finishing point. And right down at the bottom there's a map, and then we can see that's their planned route. So that's the basic plan. I'm going to put in the unlock code now to reveal the additional details. So I'm going to unlock here. So this opens up a bit more information for use by SAR. So one of the main things is we have the vehicle details here, license, make, where it's parked. You'll also see that we have additional details for the people in the group. So we've now added in those people's phone numbers just in case we want to try and call them. And down here we have the personal details of the main subject, so age, gender, height, medical conditions, phone number, appearance notes, and you'll also notice here that these here are the emergency contacts that were on their contact list on the app. So we may actually want to follow up with those as well if we're actually checking out on the information in more detail. So we also have KML GPX download. So when we click these, we can download not only the plan route but the breadcrumbs of the person as they were making progress on their trip. The map itself is not a static map, it's actually a dynamic, so we can zoom and pan. You'll see here the blue line is their planned route as they sketched as they were making plans. It'll also show breadcrumbs as well for where they were. So this is a little example I did close to home, but it demonstrates the point. So these are a set of breadcrumbs. As we click over them and hit click, we'll get additional information. So we'll have a timestamp for each of those, which is actually referenced to GMT, and we'll have the longitude and latitude and the accuracy of those points. So you can see that point there is 2 meter accuracy. This one here, which seems a little bit out of sorts, is 60 meters. And then the last timestamp is here. And these breadcrumbs will be recorded so long as the subject has the app on, and if they have a window of internet connectivity, then the points will be loaded up. So it's a good bet in terms of actually getting last known position. So there we have it. That's the trip plan. A pretty useful set of information to start any SAR operation. If the subject actually makes it out and checks in, then the status of this will change. So I'm just going to do that on my app now. So I'm going to check in, and then when I do a refresh of this, you'll see that the status right at the top there says checked in, and we're all done as far as that person being missing is concerned. You may have also heard a ping in the background there. That was our server letting the emergency contacts know that the person has checked in and is safe. So that's one final step in the whole process to tie everything off. We've only really scratched the surface here of what the OVERDUE app can do. So if you need any more information, please feel free to check out the website or ping me an email or give me a call on the number here. It's a Canadian number. And thanks for listening.